So in this video we'll discuss about directed acyclic graph. So you might get some questions on directed acyclic graph. Okay, so the concept is very simple. I'll try to take you using lot of examples. Let's see this. So first thing is abstract syntax tree. So the main difference between abstract syntax tree and a DAG is both are same. The only difference is whenever a node is already computed, DAG will use it, abstract syntax tree will not use it. That is the only difference. Okay, so what I mean to say is, if let us say if x equal to a plus b is there, okay, then abstract syntax tree will take a and it will take b, and then it is going to apply plus, right, and this node will be labeled x. Okay, now later if I say y equal to a plus c is there, then one more node y will be created, but abstract syntax tree will not take the existing node a, DAG will take a. So which means if something is already existing, if a node is existing, DAG will use it. Okay, so that is how DAG will be able to find out whether a node is already computed or not. So that is how DAG can eliminate common sub expressions. Okay, so now what are the rules to create a DAG? We'll take an example and we'll see. Okay, so basically this is about DAG. So you can read the points about it. A directed acyclic graph for an expression identifies common sub-expression. Okay, so DAGs generally identifies the common sub-expression. Okay, and DAGs can be constructed using the same technique that abstract syntax tree is computed. So both are same. Okay, only thing is DAGs will be able to identify common sub-expression, and if it is already computed, it is going to use it. Okay, many important techniques for local optimization can begin by transforming a basic block into a DAG. Okay, like a syntax tree, DAG has leaves corresponding to atomic operands and interior code. So this is all definition. Okay, don't worry about the definition. I'll again explain you using a example. So it is saying that a DAG has atomic operands. So what are atomic operands? I'll tell you about it. Okay, so the difference is that a node n in a DAG has more than one parent if n represents a common sub expression. Okay, so I'll take an example and I'll explain you. Okay, so what is that this particular statement trying to say is, let us assume that there is a plus b which is already computed. Okay, if some other expression uses a plus b, then it will actually use the same a plus b, right? And if some other statement also uses a plus b, then it will use the same a plus b. Now that is how a node can have more than one parent, and if a node is having more than one parent, you can assume that it is a common expression. Okay, that is how common expressions are eliminated. But anyway, we'll see examples. Okay, now this is the simple algorithm which actually talks about how to construct a DAG. Okay, you can go through it for a minute, but using examples it will be easy for me to explain. I'll take a lot of examples and I'll explain you how it is done. Okay, okay, let's take example and explain. So what this example is you have a basic block. Now we want to convert the entire basic block into a DAG, right? So how are we going to do it is step by step. We take step by step each statement and we'll do it, right? So now the first statement is t1 equal to 4 into I. So if you observe it, what we are going to do is, so here even though it is I I am naming it as I0 because later if the value of I changes, I will write it as I1. Okay, so I'll take an example and explain what I mean here is, now there is a statement T1 equal to 4 into I. Okay, so before we do DAG, what we do is something called as static single assignment. So it is, don't worry about the names, the concept is simple. So whenever a variable is used, I will name it as I0 or I1. In compilers we are going to do it. Okay, later again, if the same variable is used, let us say I into x is there, right? Then I am going to use I0 in case if I is not changed in between. So this I0 represents that whatever I0 value is here, the same value is here, right? Why is it useful? When the I0 is already here, and if I have the same I0 here, later when for this particular statement, when I try to create the tree, I am going to use the same node I0, right? And if I have a statement like this, I equal to 4 into j, something like this, then I will write it as I1. Why? Because the value of I0 here and the value of I0 here is different from the value of I here. Here and here the value of i's are different, and here the value of I is different. Therefore, from here or in this statement, I cannot use the same I0. That is the meaning. Okay. So with examples, this point will be clear. Even if you don't understand it now, don't worry about it. With lot of examples, I'll try to explain it. Okay. Now the statement that I have taken is T1 equal to 4 into I1. Okay, I am writing I as I0 and 4 is, we know that. So whenever such a statement is there, we are going to create one node which is nothing but a leaf, 4 and I0, and we are going to create one more node with star as the value of the node. Why? Because we have to multiply 4 and I. That is why 4 and I0 I am multiplying. And where are you storing it? We are storing it in T1. So whenever that is left hand side of a statement is given, I am just going to give that left hand side the tag. So this is called as tag. So this is the internal node, these are the leaves. Okay, and to the internal node I am just giving a tag, right? So what is the tag here? T1. Are you getting this? So even if you don't understand it, we have a lot of examples, don't worry about it, these points will be clear. Okay, now after that, after the first statement is over, for the first statement I got this tree, right, or this DAG, and for the second statement it is T2 equal to A into T1, A of T1, right? So here it is T2 equal to A of T1, and we know that this value, this particular node is actually T1, right? This particular node is T1. Now I am taking A and I am applying the subscript symbol. I am taking A and I am applying the subscript symbol, and to the subscript symbol this value passed is T1, right? Therefore T1 subscript A, so A of T1. Got it? So now this particular value is nothing but T2. That is why the tag for this particular node is T2. So T2 is the tag for this node, right? So that is about statement number 2. Now for statement number 3, it is saying T3 equal to 4 into T1, right? So for that, already 4 into I0 is already computed, right? 4 into I0 is already computed, and the value of I did not change. That is why simply I am writing T3 as a tag to this node. So now both T1 and T3 are actually representing the same value. That is why in the tag I am writing both of them. I am writing both T1 and T3 in the tag, right? So that is how the common sub expression is eliminated. Even though when I am doing in the code, even though in the code you see that we are having t into I 2 times, when I convert it into a DAG, it is now actually only occurring one time. Are you getting this? Now what is the advantage of this? Now when I convert this DAG into code, I will not be doing it 2 times, I will be doing it only once. That is why DAG is helpful in eliminating common sub expressions. Okay. Now so we are done till this part. Now let's see the next part. What is next part? T4 equal to B of T3. So I have taken T3 and I have taken the leaf B and I have applied the operator suffix, right? So suffix operator is applied, and whatever is value produced, that is nothing but T4. So that is why if you observe it, the tag is T4, right? So till this part we did. Now the next part is T5 equal to T2 into T4, which means these two have to be multiplied. Okay, these two have to be multiplied, and that is equal to T5. So this node will be T5. Got it? Yeah. So there is a mistake here. So this is star and this is T5. Got it? And the next one is T6 equal to product plus T5. So I have taken product, I am writing it as product 0, and product plus T5 is T6, right? And the next one, if you see this, product equal to T6. That is why whatever the node T6 is there, I am writing product there. Now if you observe one thing, here the value of product is product 0 and the value of product is changed, right? So initially some value is there for product and later its value is changed to T6. That is why you have to use different names, product 0 and product. If you use the same name product here, then what happens is this product will be confused with this product. That is why you have to use different names. So here I am using product and here I am using product 0. Got it? Compiler actually does it. So compiler is going to rename. And now the next one is T7 equal to I plus 1. So I is already present. So that is why I is again used, right? And I value has not changed. So that is why I naught only. From I naught, I am just using T7 equal to this. T7 equal to I plus 1. So that is why T7 is written here as the tag. And the next line is I equal to T7. So that is why I am writing I also to the same node. Okay, T7 and I now both are same. Now remember this, the value of I here is different and the value of I here is different. That is why I am using I naught here and I here. Got it? And now the next one is if I is less than or equal to 20, which I, the latest I, right? That is why I am using less than or equal to with I. If I is less than or equal to 20, then it is go to line number 1. So that cannot be written here. Okay, go to line number 1 cannot be written. So this is the DAG. Okay, this is the DAG, right? Clearly once you make the DAG, then you are not going to have any sub expressions. Okay, so we'll see more examples about DAG. You'll be able to understand it. If you are not able to understand this one, don't worry about it. We'll see more examples. Okay, now let us say this is the expression given. So DAG can be used in order to convert a basic block. We can convert a basic block into a DAG, or we can convert one statement into a DAG, assignment statement, or we can also convert an expression into DAG, okay, an expression into DAG. Now in this DAG, what has to be evaluated first? B minus C has to be evaluated first, right? So that is why I'm evaluating B minus C. So B is a leaf, C is a leaf. See, there is only one statement, right? We are not trying to change the values of any variable here. So whenever you try to change the values of a variable, you have to use labeling. So labeling means that B0, B1, B2 like this. But here the values of variables are not changing. That is why I'm not using it. Okay. Okay. Now B minus C, you compute it. B minus C is computed. Okay. Now I'll compute this part. So B minus C into D, which means B minus C into D. I'll compute it, right? And now A into B minus C has to be computed, and clearly B minus C has already been computed, right? Therefore I'm going to use the same thing, right? And I'm going to write star A. Try to understand this. So A into B minus C, right? And finally whatever value I get, I'm going to add A to this. So whatever value I get, I'm going to add the same value, the same plus. So now if you observe it, A is already used and the same A is used, right? You have to be careful here. Is the value of A changing? It is not changing. Therefore it is a common expression. So that is why A is again used, right? So that is DAG. Syntax tree would have actually made one more value, one more A, and it would have done A plus that, okay? But DAG will actually reuse it. Now if we observe it in this DAG, it is very clear that this particular node is having two parents, right? So whenever a node has two parents, it means that it is a common expression which is used in two places, and that is why it is getting two parents, right? So in a DAG, whenever you see two parents, you can say that it is a common expression. And similarly, A is having two parents, right? So one parent is this and one parent is this, right? Now again you can say that A is a common expression. Got it? So this is the tree, the same tree. From the tree, from the DAG, I can say it is not a tree, I can say a DAG. From the DAG, the tree address code will be generated. Okay, don't worry about how the tree address code is generated, that is not required. Okay, so now let's see this. So we have A equal to B plus C and D equal to B plus A, and then E equal to D plus A, right? So whenever any basic block is given, you have to identify what are the whether the variables are changing or not. For example, in this case, I'll write B as B0 and C as C0. Okay, and now when I use the B again, is this B0 or B1? Is the value changing or not? It is not changing, right? So B0 only, right? And here let us say I am using A0. When I use A here, is the value of A0 or is it changing? From here to here, is the value of A changing? Whatever value is there here, the same value will be here, therefore the same variable, so A0, right? And here I will use D0. Okay, now is this D0 and this same? Is this D and this D same? Are they changing or they same? They are same, so I am going to use D0. Are you getting this? And what about A? A is also not changing A naught, right? And E is also not changing E naught. Basically, for every variable, one number is sufficient, right? So for every variable, one number is sufficient. So in this case, we need not have written zeros at all. Even without zeros also, the same thing would apply, right? Therefore, zeros are not required. Okay. Now let's see what happens here. A naught equal to B naught plus C. So what happens here is, so let us say it is B naught and let us say it is C naught, and I'm adding both of them. And now whenever it is an assignment statement, we are not going to do anything, just we are going to label. So A naught is this, and the next one is D naught equal to B naught plus A naught, right? So D naught, B naught and A naught, right? So B naught is already created, A naught is already created. So in DAG algorithm, what happens is, when a node is already created, we are going to use it. If a node is already not there, then we are going to create it, right? So initially B naught node and C naught node are not there, they are created, and A naught node is computed, and now B naught and A naught are used and they are already there. B naught is there and A naught is there, therefore I am going to use them, right? So B naught and A naught both are going to be used, and I am going to use plus, right? And the resultant number is D naught, so this is D naught. Okay, and now D naught plus A naught, which means I have to add this D naught with A naught, D naught with A naught, D naught and A naught are added, and I am going to compute E naught, right? So this is the DAG, right? So this is the DAG. Now if you observe it, we are actually reusing everything, right? So now the questions can be like, what is the number of nodes and what is the number of edges, right? So you can do that. Okay, so the number of nodes are 1 2 3 4 5, and the number of edges are 1 2 3 4 5 6. It is pretty simple. We are going to create a node if it is not already present, and we are going to reuse a node if it is we are going to reuse a node if it is already present. If it is not present, we are going to create it. Okay, so can you do this? So this is for the previous one. Okay, can you do this? You can try doing it. Look at this. So we have A equal to B plus C and B equal to A minus D and C equal to B plus C and D equal to A minus D, right? So here if I write B naught, C naught, A naught, okay, this A is same as this A, therefore I can write A naught. The value of B naught, B here, and the value of B here are different. That is why I am writing B1. Let me write D naught here, right? And the value whatever is here, B1, that value is used here. That is why I am writing B1, right? And what about this C? So the value whichever is initially there, the same value will be there. That is why I am writing C naught. And what about the value of C here? So from this C will be different. That is why I am writing C1, right? So why is it important to write C1 is, when you try to draw them in the DAG, you will now understand whether to create a new node or is it a previous node. Okay. Now, what about the value of a here? Whatever the value of a here is, the same value is going to be there, a naught. What about the value of d here? So whatever the value of d here is, the same value d naught will be used, but here d1 has to be computed. Got it? Got it? Okay. Now let's do this. B naught plus C naught is B naught and C naught, right? So B naught plus C naught, B naught plus C naught is going to be A naught, right? And the next one is A naught minus D. So which means A naught minus D naught, D naught. This value is actually equal to B1. So I'm writing B1 here. So this node is different from this node. This node is B naught and this node is B1. Okay. And then C1 is created by using C naught and B1. So that is why. So C naught is already there. C naught is already there. And B1, I am going to add both of these, and the newly created node now represents C1, right? Now A naught minus D naught is actually D1, so this is the DAG. Okay, okay, just check that. Okay. Okay guys, so this is the DAG. Now if you see it clearly, C naught is just created once and it is used 2 times, and A naught is created once and it is used 2 times. D naught is created once and it is used 2 times, right? So that is the difference between a syntax tree and a DAG. So we are going to use the same node again and again. Okay. Okay guys, so can you construct for this? Can you solve this example? So let us say this is D naught, this is B naught, this is C naught, and this B and this B are same, therefore B naught, and this first time we are seeing, so A naught, first time we are seeing E naught. Now this value, so this B is actually this B, right? Therefore I am writing B naught, and this B is newly created, whose value is going to change, and this C and this C are same, that is why C naught, right? And coming to this E, whatever value is computed here, same value is used, so therefore E naught. And coming to this D, so whatever value is initially computed, the same value, right? 0. And coming to this A, the old A value is different. Now this new A value will be different, that is why A1. Got it? Now we can do it the same way. So B naught, C naught, I am going to multiply them. Okay, and the result I call it as D naught, and then B naught and A naught, I am going to add them. So second statement, right? So here add them, and I'm going to call it E naught. And now B naught and C naught I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to call it as B1. B naught and C naught I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to call it as B1, right? And E naught and D naught, so E naught and D naught I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to call it as A1, right? So here you can clearly see what is the minimum number of nodes and what is the minimum number of edges in the DAG. Okay, got it? So just cross checking whether it is whatever we did is right or not. So okay, so here there is an expression, right? So here the expression is B into C and B into C are same, B naught and C naught, right? So I need not have, done this. So I could have used B1 here, right? So here D naught and B1 both are same. Okay, so that is why I got the different one. So this is not required because clearly there is a common sub expression B naught and C naught. So for B naught and C naught, both of them could have been represented using the same node. Okay, can you do this? Try doing it. Okay, so here A equal to B plus C is given, and B equal to B minus D is given, and C equal to C plus D is given, and E equal to B plus C is given, right? Now I can clearly write A naught, B naught, C naught, first statement, right? Here whatever B is used, its value is from the previous B only, that is why B naught, and here it is changing, that is why I am writing B1, and here it is the first time D naught, so here also D naught, here also C, whatever value is here, the same value, that is why C naught, and here the value of C is changing, that is why C1, right? And now here it is B1 and here it is C1. Why? Because the value of B's and C have been changed, so here it is B1 and C1. And what about E? First time I'm seeing it, right? So guys, even though this B plus C looks like a common expression, common sub expression, here B plus C is there, here B plus C is there, you might think that it is a common sub expression, but that is a mistake. Why? Because here it is B naught C naught, here it is B1 C1. The value of B and C have changed. The value of B and C have changed, right? That is why it is not a common sub expression. Got it? Now compute the DAG. So B naught, C naught, and now it is plus, and this is A naught, right? And the next one is B naught minus D naught, right? So let's say, let me take so D naught, so let me take D naught here. Okay, B naught minus D naught is equal to B1, right? And C naught and D naught, so these two, C naught plus D naught is equal to C1, and now E naught is B1 plus C1, right? So this is the DAG. Okay, so when you number the variables, it will be easy. In fact, in compiler also the variables will be numbered. Okay, the same method is used, right? That is called as single static assignment or static single assignment. Okay, we'll see that. Okay. So can this be even simplified? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now I'm giving you a big question. You try solving it. So for this, so there is one line missing. So T1 equal to 4 into I. Okay. So here T1 is equal to 4 into I has to be there. Okay. Okay, now guys, now for this one, two basic blocks are generated. So this is basic block number 1 and this entire part is basic block number 2. Okay, and for this you are supposed to generate a DAG. Okay, it is a simple straightforward question, nothing else. I just want you to just do on the blocks, like just how we did it for the first one, you can do it for this one also, right? Initially we have done for a block, right? The same thing. Okay, now this question is asked in GATE 2014. They have asked for the minimum number of nodes and edges. Okay, so here A equal to B plus C, C equal to A plus D, D equal to B plus C, E equal to D minus B, and A equal to E plus B is given. Okay, there is a small problem in this question. If you directly do it, the method that I told you, I think you are going to get B, right? But in the key they have given it as A, 6 and 6. So what they have done is they have taken the instructions and they have even simplified them further. Okay, so that is not given in the question. They should not have done it, but I'll tell you both the methods. You just take the instructions as it is and you convert it into a DAG, then you are going to get option B. That is right. But the key is given as 6 and 6. What they have done is they have simplified the instructions. Okay, that should not have been done. So what they have done is, in order to get that answer, okay, so here they have substituted the value of D equal to B plus C, right? In this D, E equal to D means B plus C minus B. Therefore E has become C. So therefore it has become C, right? And similarly here also, in case of E, they have substituted this D minus B. Then you are going to get D, A equal to D, right? So the last two instructions are E equal to C and A equal to D, right? So by writing like this, the number of nodes are obviously reduced. Got it? But given a question, should you simplify it? That is not given in the question, right? But they have given the answer as 6 and 6. I am just telling you how they got it. Okay, but they have not mentioned it anywhere, right? So now the problem is, given a basic block, should you simplify it? So the answer is no. Your task is, if they ask you to create a constructed DAG, your task is to construct a DAG, okay, not to simplify it. they clearly did not mention about simplifying. So if you directly solve it, you are going to get 8 and 10. But if you simplify it, you are going to get the value of 6 and 6, right? So now let's see for the simplified version, right? So I think they will give you the marks for this question for everyone because they clearly didn't mention it, right? So now the next C is C1. C1 equal to A naught plus D naught only, right? And here it is D1. D1 equal to B naught plus C1. And finally E equal to C and A equal to D, right? Now which C it is? The C is C1, and which D it is? The D is D1. Okay. Now if you try to do it, it is B naught and C naught. If I add these two, I am going to get A naught, right? And now we are going to take A naught and D naught, A naught and D naught, and if I add these two, I am going to get C1, right? And now for C1 I am going to add B naught, right? So for C1 I am going to add this. So what is that I get? D1, right? And clearly E is C1, so E is C1, and A is D1, so A is D1, right? Now if you see it, 1 2 3 4 5 6 nodes are present, and if you see the edges, 6 edges will be present, right? So this should not have been done, but they did it. Okay, so according to the answer, we have to solve it this way, but if you directly solve it, you are going to get 8 10 10. Okay, 8 and 10 should have been answer, but yeah, they have given the answer as 6 and 6. Okay, so the applications of DAG is, so the main application is common sub-expression elimination, and also you will be able to find out which values are used where in the program, and also you will be able to find out across the block what are the variables, what are the common expressions. Okay, so basically if they ask you for the main application of DAG, it is common sub-expression elimination. Okay, so now in this case it is about static single static code assignment, so which is nothing but giving the numbers. Okay, so now how many variables are used totally? Even though some variables you are seeing, what is the total number that is being used? So you have to just number them. So x naught 0 0 0, right? And here x naught only, the same value is used, and here first time I am seeing it, v naught I am 0, y naught it is 0, and whatever the value of x is here, that value is changed here, that is why x1. And now what about y naught? Whatever the value of y is here, the same value. What about the value of w? First time I am seeing it, therefore 0, right? And what about the value here? From the previous value of y it is changing, that is why y1. And what about the value of t? So from the previous value it is t naught, the same value t naught, and z is also same value z naught. And again the value here is y1, the same value is used, but here the value is changing, right? But here the value is changing. Okay, so I think I can't, it is not allowing me to write here. So here the value is 2. Okay, so here the value of y is 2 and x is 1. Okay, so here y equal to x into y, it is 1, this is 2, this is old value and it is new value, right? and it is x1 only, right? Now you count the total number of variables. So you have to count x0 and x1 as different values. So that is single static code assignment. Okay, so these are all the important questions. Okay, thank you. Hi all, so if you are watching this video for the first time, my name is Ravindra Babu Raula and I'll be teaching all the subjects of computer science. Okay, and I have done my masters from IISc Bangalore. I was 2 times 2-digit ranker, not a great achievement, but yeah. And if you want my GATE classes, you can register on Unacademy app, and if you want 10% discount on whatever you register on Unacademy, use the code RRCS. Okay, so my code is RRCS. If you want the GATE classes, the fee is after discount, if you use my code, is 27,000 for 1 year and 39,600 for 2 years. Okay, so if you are from, let's say, second year then or third year, go for 2-year subscription. If you are in final year, you can take 1-year subscription. Now there are 2 kinds of packages available. So one is called Iconic. So let's talk about Plus first. So one is called Plus and the other one is Iconic. You can either go for Plus or Iconic. Now in Plus you are going to get all the video lectures, doubt clearing, as well as test series, and lot of quizzes will be there. And coming to Iconic, you are going to be assigned a mentor, and he is going to mentor you in all the subjects. So either personally or related to subjects, and he will give you the study plan, and whenever you are demotivated or not doing well in the test series, he will help you out. Okay, it is kind of hand holding. So you can go for Iconic if you want a mentor. Okay, and generally these mentors are last year rankers who are already doing masters, or those who have already done their masters. Generally the rankers will be the mentors. Okay, so that is all about Iconic and Plus. And this, you can register for GATE classes on Unacademy, or I will also be teaching competitive programming on Unacademy. If you want to register for competitive programming, you can register the same way, RRCS for 10% discount. Okay, and in future I'll be starting machine learning as well. I'll keep you updated. Thank you.